We got Craig here. We've got the gang here. This is the community call for May 31st, 2023, Aladdin DAO. Welcome, everybody. I am your host, K Metz, for this week. Kruger is out, and I'll be joined with the rest of the team. So we got a lot to go over here. So we will dive into it here. So first off, we'll start off with Clever. We had Votium round 45, and that was completed. And it looked like there was like some hiccups in the voting, not for Clever or anything, but just in general with Snapshot. Does anybody kind of know like what happened? Is that like was that a centralization issue or like?
Yeah, I saw some news on Twitter that Snapshot has some issues, so it's not affecting only Votium or Snapshot in general had some issues. But I think that it's everything. It's all right now. I'm back to normal.
Yeah, it's I was actually like kind of like looking it up this morning. I don't know a whole lot about Snapshot itself, but it doesn't look like it's like I'm not sure like how decentralized of a protocol it is. If it's a very Web 2 thing that just kind of integrates blockchains or whatever, but um, it looks like they got everything fixed by the end of voting, but it's just kind of like one more thing we in the DeFi world have to figure out how to make sure it works no matter what, and so we'll always just kind of keep an eye on that stuff. But Clever was never at risk. It looked like because I was kind of following our voting anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's completed. Again, the results we did just a little bit better than what Votium
Yeah,
returned by a little bit, and so that's kind of nice for everybody. And
yeah, and I think
uh,
it's important that we are maintaining so round by round we're getting better return than Votium. It's important to
yeah,
maintain those.
and it's not like guaranteed or anything, but I mean, for the most part, I think the algorithm it just shows it's working well, and kind of like in line with sort of like our projections and what our hopes are for it. So that's great. And then VE Clev holders, they can expect the rewards distribution at midnight on Thursday, or I guess midnight on Wednesday, 12:01 a.m. Thursday. And so that they can look forward to that. And then additionally, the other big thing is this week is the Clev USD borrow amount was up to $4 million, which pretty impressive. Just the amount of usage that Clev USD just steadily gets. I feel like that's sort of like one of the it's sort of like a hidden. I don't know if you don't see a whole lot of chatter about it, but it gets a lot of usage, and maybe that's something that we need to pump up more. But people just keep using it, and it's really fantastic for Clever, and hopefully it keeps getting more usage in DeFi. Um, it's
Correct,
just
and not only Clev USD. Recently, we had to raise that ceiling for CVX too. So
yeah.
it's
Well, it just goes to show you that like there's this slow grind up. Even though I don't know if you could technically say we're still in a bear market. I guess we kind of are like a sideways market, but just the grind upwards with the usage of our
Mhm.
products, it just goes to show the product market fit, and it's really cool that, that people are utilizing those and embracing those, and it's not just like 5 users either with massive wall.
Correct.
So that's like that's really cool to see, and that's all I have for Clever. And then so moving on to Concentrator. Okay, so the big news that we kind of have for Concentrator and is that we're currently testing some CRV USD harvesters. So there's your big alpha, and those will be compounding in the AFREX, ETH, and A curve, and so those we'll have like 4 vaults which will be like USDC1, TUSD, USDP, and USDT, which will all be paired with Curve USD. So so those hopefully be released here in the next day or so. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. But just Concentrator just keeps on keeping on, and it'd be really cool to see as CRV gets integrated, how people how the adoption level works for that. And then additionally for Concentrator, so one of the things we've been doing behind the scenes, for folks that don't know, is we're trying to expand the usage of Concentrator in DeFi in general. And this is sort of like, we could almost have like a philosophical conversation about sort of, Concentrator's role in DeFi, and how does it fit in sort of the grand picture. And so right now the team is talking with various DAOs, and I'm going to be kind of cagey about this because we don't have like all the details and the DAO set up, but they range from like just use your imagination to in the Curve ecosystem and whatnot. But basically, how can Concentrator and the assets that Concentrator brings to the table be integrated into all aspects of DeFi, whether it's lending, whether it's yield maximization for treasuries. Oh, John Paul, I've got you. I'm hearing an echo through you. I'm gonna mute you real fast. I hope you don't mind. We'll unmute you if you have a question or something. But yeah, no. So it's important to consider like Concentrator and making sure that we're constantly trying to grow it, not just with retail users, but making sure that the DAOs themselves understand the use cases that Concentrator can bring to them, to bring to their products, to bring exposure, to maximize yield. And I think this is sort of one of those lessons that I'm personally learning, and probably everybody else is learning, is like the only way anyone is going to hear that you have a great product is if you tell them. And I think Concentrator, there's a lot of vaults that basically the best yield you're going to get in DeFi is through Concentrator. And so our goal right now is to basically just get out and evangelize the greatness of Concentrator, and letting these protocols know what you can do with Concentrator, how it can be integrated into your products, sort of expectations, and what kind of partnerships can be formed. And in doing so, hopefully, it will lead to a broader usage of Aladdin DAO products in general. So we're working on those right now behind the scenes. You can expect to see proposals that'll be coming up in the not too distant future for everyone to consider. And so we're working diligently. We're trying to make the best decisions possible right now, and talking to these teams, and everyone's been very receptive. And we've reached out big and small all across DeFi. And so it'll be real interesting to kind of like start once these partnerships start to like kind of look like they're forming up, then we can kind of like introduce everybody to kind of like what the direction of Concentrators looking like in terms of its growth. So I don't know if anybody else, Paul or Charlene, want to add to that or anything.
I guess you covered it really well. And yeah, as you said, we have to keep it vague for now, but expect to see some more action on this front sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and that's we keep it vague. I mean, just because we don't want to like get everyone's expectations up, but also just to give those protocols a chance to sort of like, figure out, their
Yeah,
strategy for
of
Concentrator and
course.
how it works for them, and kind of like give them, sort of a low pressure, sort of an opportunity to be
Hmm.
like, oh, we understand the product, and we're kind of on board with it. So, it's beneficial to all at the moment. So,
Yeah, and
but just
we
sit
will
tight.
release anyway. Yeah, the news at the right time. So
Yeah, absolutely. And we're excited to really. I mean,
yeah,
Concentrator.
definitely.
Sky's the limit for Concentrator, really.
I definitely
All
agree with
right.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. All right. Moving on to Aladdin. Okay, so this is we've had, I guess for the past week, Tao put up AIP 05 proposal for the new tokenomics of ALD. And it's I have to say, this is like one of those moments where I'm like really proud. I'm like proud papa, like real happy of our community for how well this has been like a community driven sort of initiative, and then B, just the thoughtfulness and respectfulness, and that everyone's had towards this proposal, and really engaging with this, thinking about it, and making sure that it does have community buy-in, which it appears it does. And so we can kind of like walk through it real quick if folks still aren't familiar with sort of like what the proposal is, and just make sure everybody kind of understands what's been discussed and the proposals that will be coming through here in the near future on this. So, I'll just kind of go through, briefly sort of what they are.
Yeah,
So yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I
perfect.
also posted the link, so folks, if you didn't see the proposal, have a look in the chat.
Yeah, yeah. And so the first one is basically to obtain a curve gauge for ALD ETH, and one of the you've in some of the conversations, it's basically like, well, there's plenty of liquidity in it, but a lot of it is protocol provided. And one of the advantages of basically, once you incentivize the uh, the LP with a gauge and curve emissions, is it's really kind of interesting, because gosh, I wish this was posted somewhere, but it's so good. It's Sam Kasman from Frax Finance, the founder of Frax Finance, and at ETH Denver, he talks about stablecoin maximization, and he talks about. I actually have the video saved. If I ever find a way to post it in a good spot, I will. But he talks about basically the fundamental design of protocols for DeFi, and how they are all basically moving towards one sort of design. And that design is basically like, you have a risk-free yield source, and then you have a swap facility. And between those two is basically how the future of DeFi protocols will be constructed. And you can see this in actually several different Aladdin products. One of them being Clever is a great one, where the risk-free yield is from CVX bribe rewards, and the swap facility is the Clev CVX LP. And so what this does with ALD ETH getting a gauge would basically mean that now the source of rewards for that for ALD tokens is now not only just the staking rewards, but it's now also the curve emissions from the LP. And so you'll see staked ALD, because the curve emissions are giving a better return, move from the staking over to the LP, and this will in turn drive staking rewards up, actually. And so you have that added benefit that goes with it. So ALD will finally have a swap facility to go with the risk-free yield source. So it will actually truly be, as Sam Kazemian calls it, an actual, it will fulfill its DeFi protocol destiny. And so that's pretty cool. So that's sort of the first proposal, and I think there's like maybe a couple of details on sort of like how the rewards from the gauge maybe get spread out, and I think Tao speaks to that in the proposal, but ultimately the main point is that we'll be getting a gauge for ALDE. So pretty cool. The second point in there is reducing the staking APY from around 10% to 5%. So basically having the ALD emissions to the ALD staked ALD, and what the intention is to take those halved emissions and the remaining ones and basically put them into a trust fund or an investment fund for the ecosystem. And so basically ALD will now serve as, kind of like fulfilling its Berkshire Hathaway role in Aladdin to basically, reinvest those funds back into Aladdin and Aladdin products, whether it's buyback Clever concentrator tokens, or, if there's an IDO for a new project or something, it would be involving in that, or whatever else is needed to basically sustain the growth and health of Aladdin. So really thoughtful, very good proposal there. And again, just a really cool idea there from Tao. And then the third one that you'll probably be seeing a proposal from here in the near future is enable vote escrow staked ALD tokens. And the main benefit from that one is basically to ensure basically long-term alignment of ALD token holders and Aladdin products. And I think this one's, he kind of walks through like some of the basically possibilities of, what this can enable. And, I think he's mostly just brainstorming here, and, but they're all, legit possibilities and look really great. And so, the long-term alignment of the ALD token with the success of Aladdin is it's necessary for all these projects. It's why we have like 4-year VE locks, and not much shorter than you're starting to see protocols get shorter. But the intention of everything is to be long-term growth, to be here for the long term in DeFi, and make sure that we have community alignment with those goals. And so so that will help achieve that, and so should be pretty cool. And then I think the last one in his proposal is publish bi-monthly or quarterly financial reports that break down all income and expenses in detail. That one we probably don't even need a snapshot proposal for. I think that's probably just one that everyone's like, that's a great idea in general. And I don't know if we'll be able to do like bi-monthly or whatever, but yeah, I think absolutely, like reporting on sort of like the health of everything. I mean, that that's the intention of being a mature DeFi product, right? Is making sure that everyone understands sort of the financial status of the protocols and the products that we offer. So, your thought? Anything you want to add in, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, I don't think we will be able to post bi-monthly expenses, but yeah, definitely quarterly ones. And we are a community-driven DAO, so it's perfectly fine to make this public, I think. And for the other two, for the staking rewards and for the enabling the vote escrow model, the snapshot proposals are up, and you folks can start voting in half an hour, so by the end of the call at 2 p.m. UTC.
And that's just for XALD holders, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And something we forgot to mention in the proposal text. So even if you adopt the VE model, that will be for staked ALD. Yeah. So the staking rewards will go on while your tokens are locked.
Yeah,
so you'll still
excellent.
get that inflation. Plus, there are more benefits that are quite well explained by Tao, and I added some on the snapshot proposal text.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and both
So
are posted in the chat, guys. So have a look.
how long are they open for?
I think it's. Let me just have a look, but probably for a week.
Yeah, that's about what
Yeah,
we normally
until
do.
June the 7th.
Okay. Yeah, so perfect. So everyone, be sure to go if you're XALD holder, go and check it out, and be sure to vote on these protocols. Again, I'm just, it's really cool to kind of see the community come up with these ideas. We're as I've learned very quickly, we're a small team and a very busy team, and there's only so much that the team can handle at one time. So to see the community kind of
Yeah,
say, you know
stepping
what,
up and yeah,
we're going to take this on, and I think
exactly.
Kruger has stated this before, sort of a spectrum of involvement in Aladdin, and I think this really sort of speaks to it, where you have like, we need some consistent marketing efforts, and so that's where A Team kind of came in and said, hey, we'd like to kind of provide this, and then everyone has been wanting some tokenomic revamps, and so finally the community was like, well, you know what, we'll just go ahead and think them up, and it's like fantastic, like
Of
that's
course.
terrific. That's exactly what should be is it
Yeah.
should be these beneficial ideas and contributions from the community for the community. So it's really cool, and plus, like, the conversations have been very productive. I've been on like other DeFi forums, and man, they're just a train wreck. So it's really good to see everybody, like, thoughtfully contribute and make a difference, in terms of like moving conversations forward and giving good feedback without, just trying to derail everything.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I guess I'm speaking for all concepts when I'm saying we are very, very, very proud of you guys. And just keep posting on the forum. That's why it's there. Any
Yeah.
ideas you have?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, I
All
think
right.
so. Yeah, I think we can go to the main event of the week for us.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely would not skip this. The one that everyone's here to hear about, and that is
Exactly.
the FX IDO this Thursday. So this is the big one. Get your ETH ready. Prepare for whatever gas costs are going to be coming up. So let's kind of go over the quick details. We've sent out a couple of tweets on the IDO through the FX account. So you can check there, and as you've all seen, we've added a whitelist for the IDO, and so the general public launch starts at 1 p.m. and but prior to that, an hour before, at noon p.m. UTC, for staked ALD holders and VEV holders, you'll get 1 hour head start. There's 20,000 FX tokens priced at 0.005 ETH each that are available, and it is what it is. And so it's first come, first serve for those Aladdin token holders to come and grab those tokens, and if they sell out in 2.5 minutes, they sell out in 2.5 minutes. If there's some left over, they'll roll over into the general. So kind of be prepared for anything. Yeah, Subli, no meme coin tomorrow. uh, so that's kind of like how that's gonna go tomorrow. So make sure you set your calendars, you get your ETH ready ahead of time. I honestly, I have no idea what to expect. It could be sell out in 2.5 minutes. It could be, pretty leisurely and laid back. We're hoping for full sellout for everything, obviously, but we shall see. So Oh, one thing to double check is we released the whitelist this morning. So be sure to go and double check to make sure that you're on the whitelist. And I think it's
Yeah,
available.
yeah. So you have, guys, you have the whitelist posted in FX announcements. Have a look there, and please, if your address is not on the list, don't try to participate in the whitelist sale, because your transaction will fail and you will lose the gas. Have a look before. If your address is not there, wait until 1 p.m. UTC.
Yeah. There will definitely be FX tokens available at 1 p.m. So don't fret too hard. And so yeah, so this will be the beta launch. Are we so right now the protocol contracts are under audit themselves for FETH and XETH. And so you'll just be able to be a part of the FX token sale tomorrow. So there won't be any like minting of XETH or FETH right now. So once the audits come back, everything looks good, and we've addressed all the comments, and the UIs are ready to go. Then we'll let everybody kind of know when sort of the beta launch for XETH and FETH are available. And for go ahead, Paul.
No, so our community knows. I mean, you guys know we don't release anything without a proper audit before, and this won't gonna change with FX. So yeah, we are still waiting for the audit firm to release the report. Charlene, do we have any ETA on the audit?
Hopefully next week, because we have fixed something through testing, and we resubmitted the code to auditor this week, and so they're looking through things, and I think we should get it next week, yeah, and so we'll be ready to launch beta as soon as we have the audit report with us.
Yeah, and again, there's no rush there. When better safe than sorry. We can wait a few more days if they need to do the proper testing.
Oh yeah, totally. Sure. Yeah, and just so everyone knows, you can always get on the Aladdin GitHub and look at any of the audits that have ever been performed on any of the products for Aladdin. That's sort of one of the great things about Aladdin is we don't do anything without a proper audit. Another set of eyes that has looked at stuff that's run testing on it. Safety and security is really paramount, and really trying to make it public and transparent as well. So you guys can always reach out to us and ask where something is, and we'll help you find it in terms of the audits. So but that one's definitely coming, and will be available very, very soon.
And yeah, another thing we should mention is there will be no TGE tomorrow. So the token, if you participate in the offering, the actual tokens will be released after the beta testing of FX and after the second round of FX offering. Yeah.
Yes.
So don't expect any tokens to land in your wallet tomorrow. Any FX tokens to be available on the market, any liquidity to be added, or anything like that. If you see any FX token on any exchange or any DEX, it's a scam, so stay away.
Man, there's just too many scams. There's just, it's so heartbreaking. I'm just seeing all this stuff on Twitter of people getting. Was that guy just like asked for like 300 ETH or something? He just asked for ETH, just send me ETH, and people sent like 300 ETH. It's like, what is wrong with you guys? Like,
yeah, we live in a crazy world, and yeah, as you said, people are just sending ETH to some I don't know if he was an influencer or anything like that, but yeah, basically he just posted a tweet, send me some meat, and they sent.
You know, it's like it's really disappointing because we're sitting here, we're like, okay, yeah, we're like trying to like partner up with like all these DAOs to like grow Concentrator and integrate, you know, all these products and you know, doing all this thoughtful stuff. And this guy's just like, you know what, just send me some ETH, and people are just like handing over ETH. And so it's like you know, we worry all about these these IDOs and stuff like that, and it's like
Yeah,
like,
with all
should
this,
we
with
be worried?
everything.
It's like, oh, it's just heartbreaking. It's like,
Indeed,
come on,
it is.
gang. Oh well. So anyway, so I don't have anything else to add on the IDO. Do you, Paul?
No, again, be aware. Don't get scammed. You have the link on Twitter. You have the link on Discord. Don't click any other link. Don't set the ETH to any address. As long as
Yeah,
you maintain a little bit of
and
security,
we'll
you'll be fine.
yeah, basically if you're clicking on a link that's not from Aladdin or FX directly, don't click on it. So you know, we'll probably post it again right before the launch, so
Yeah.
everyone has it available. So so just keep an eye on the FX Twitter account, the official FX Twitter account, and the Aladdin Discord and Twitter, and we'll make sure to direct everybody to the right spot. So so that's pretty much
Do-
what to
Do
expect.
we want to mention some of the work we're doing on DAO side? Or you want to keep that alpha for next week?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, that's
Well,
what we can say so far is that. Sorry, go ahead, Keemans.
I was just gonna say, like maybe we can just say that, like, you know, for beta launch, you know, it's native ETH. But you know, it's a flexible protocol. You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah, and also, guys, if you had a look at the tokenomics, you saw there, like DAO's partnership allocation. So that is truly for that. Again, not too many details yet out, but yeah, expect an announcement of an announcement. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's an announcement of an announcement. It's going to be really hype. It's going to be awesome. So we're still working in the back here. So, all right, let's see. Admiral, can you guys please talk a bit about the plan for the 2 to 4 week beta phase of FX? No liquidity, mint, redeem, enable, purpose of beta phase, etc. Yeah, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Charlene or Pauls, but I think the beta phase is just going to be a mint redeem. There's not going to be any liquidity for XETH or FETH or even the FX token itself. Am I right there?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a short period of time. Just give people a taste of how the product works before we pull out, you know, the full support on liquidity side.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just to make sure everybody's kicked all the tires and you know, looked at all the buttons and gizmos. And by the way, it's a really pretty UI. I was like looking at it, I was like, this might be the cutest Aladdin product yet. It's awesome. So I'm really excited for everybody to see it and interact with it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, so hopefully that answers your question, Admiral. If you have any more, let us know. But you know, it's mostly just gonna be pretty simple for the most part. You know, just so people get an understanding of what it is and how it operates. And once liquidity kind of like gets engaged, you know, retail for the most part, you know, is not going to have to interact with in terms of minting and redeeming very much, unless you just want to. You know, most of the minting and redeeming will be arbitrage from, you know, bots and whatnot, basically to arbitrage the price between the LPs and the native
protocol.
NAV.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah. So yeah, you're right, Admiral. So yeah, it's just like a test market sentiment check and some hype before we are adding liquidity and the FX is being generated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's looking forward to that. Okay, let's see. So, the last thing I have kind of for FX is tomorrow we're doing something really cool. This is kind of like an A-Team, Aladdin DAO partnership to have a conversation with DeFi Cheetah and Winter Soldier. And we're going to be talking about the future of stablecoins. And I am really psyched for this because those are like two of the smartest guys in DeFi, and they've graciously agreed to come on and talk to us about the future of stablecoins. It's really interesting. I've kind of like talked to a few folks. I went on like Leviathan News, and FX in general is it's not a complicated protocol, but the thing that's mostly complicated for folks is basically the paradigm shift from using the US dollar as your low volatility asset, your escape from volatility. And I think it's going to be interesting to talk with these guys. And every time you like have a conversation with someone about FX, it inevitably somehow evolves into sort of a philosophical conversation about stable coins and the US dollar. And I think it's going to be really interesting to talk with them about sort of their viewpoints, what they've seen, their thoughts since the USDC depeg, and sort of like what are you seeing as the path forward? And here's how Aladdin is seeing the path forward, and just kind of just trying to wrap our minds around where the US dollar role is for DeFi in general. So should be hopefully it'll be a really cool talk, and those guys should add a lot of really great input, and hopefully at the end they're diehard FX protocol fans.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So
yeah, it should be a very good one. I mean,
are you going to join, Paul?
I hope so.
As a listener?
Depends how the FX offering is going. If it's done by then, and hopefully it will, and without any kind of issues, yeah, I'll be on.
Oh yeah. That's the thing is, so the timing of this call is like at 2 p.m. UTC, which I think is it's like the timing was kind of tough, but that's kind of like the way it worked out. But it's tomorrow at 2 p.m. UTC. So as soon as you get your FX tokens, make sure you
hop on Twitter and
yeah, you jump over to Twitter and listen to us chit chat a bit about why the US dollar needs to take a hike. Charlene, you got any thoughts or anything you want to share?
Yeah, I will join tomorrow's call as well if I can get any allocation. I didn't manage to get any for Clever. Ideal.
Yeah, that's what I'm like most worried about is I'm like, okay, I've got everything all set up, but what if I can't get any for, if I'm gonna be bummed. I'm gonna be like depressed during this call. But anyway,
if I can't get any allocation, I probably will take some rest.
So I'll have to tell DeFi Cheetah and Winter Soldier that our founder is like so distraught over the demand for a non-USDC coin that she can't even join us to discuss how distraught she is. Totally reasonable. I totally get it, 100%. So, all right. Well,
and before we hand out the call to Charlene for the macro update, just like let's make everyone aware that we've got now that the Curve USD harvester have been deployed.
Oh.
So yeah, guys, you can go ahead and deposit if you want. They're all available now.
Yeah.
I think yields will kick in 9 hours.
Oh,
right?
Nice.
Yeah.
There
are some good APYs available.
The yields for CRV
Oh.
Vault? Yeah.
So
It will
A-
start.
So the APR is
and
not
the
up to
meantime-
date. If you deposit now, probably once the yields start kicking, the APRs on the concentrated web page will change to the real ones.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Oh, and they're at the top too. Oh, nice. Easy to find, easy to ape. That'll be great. All right, Charlene, are we going to have a debt ceiling deal?
Oh well. So are we turning off the recording and the
Yeah,
YouTube
just
live streaming?
give me a sec.
Yeah, I will try to keep things uncontroversial. But just in case.
So yeah,
and
guys, every time Charlene's saying turn off the recording, be ready. It's gonna be huge.
no, because you asked me if I want to turn it off. So why not?
Yeah.
So I'll keep the messages short, right? So I think this debt ceiling drama is over. Has been overplayed.